And welcome to yet another episode of the Ricky Williams Trilogy. 1, 2, 3. All of us are here with you today. You're listening to John B. Eazy Durnell, of course, here with Duke Thompson and Seamus the Moose Anderson. What are we going to be talking about? Well, what we usually talk about, sports in this lovely quarantine. Gentlemen, before we start talking about those sports, how are we doing in our respective cities? Now, of course, I'm living in Los Angeles right now. It's hot as hell, as usual, but I guess COVID will still last even with this heat because our numbers are going up. How's it going for you, Duke Thompson?
It's going good, man. Sorry that's so hot there, man, because it's only 78 degrees today up in Auburn, Washington. So I am pretty happy about that.
Just say Seattle. No one knows where the fuck Auburn is.
True.
Just say Seattle. All right.
Unless they know anything about the crime rate in Washington, then they definitely don't know where Auburn is.
Right, exactly.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about, man? That's whatever, man. How you doing, Moose?
I'm sure the crime rate is not what it should be. I mean, you are living in a.
Actually, though, I've seen more police at my apartment complex than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Wow, my goodness. Well, you did grow up in a very suburban part of Nashville. Moose, how you doing?
Good. I'm good, man, and just enjoying hockey. Still working from home. Just waiting for this damn pandemic to be over, so we can get back to normal life and ready to see some football, man. Ready to see some football.
Well, you might be living in a fantasy land thinking that we might get back to a life that we used to know. I mean, for goodness sakes, we've been doing this for so long now. I don't even know what we used to do. But anyway, everybody, we need to talk about the sports that have been happening. Some sports, well, you might not have considered a real sport, but they've been having some actual crazy activity. The WWE. Now, I consider it an actual sport because these are athletic men and women throwing themselves about in very scantily clad clothing. Now, when they had a very recent episode of Raw, they decided, since they were down in Orlando, to do what the NBA's been doing. Bring in that audience, folks. You can't even bring in the live audience, but you can bring in virtual live audience members. Now, they had thousands and thousands of people sign up, and there were some requirements. You weren't supposed to do certain things. And, well, these audience members went above and beyond the things that they were supposed to do.
Way beyond expectations for that fan base, man. I'll tell you.
Now, the headline was about a man who was dressed in full Ku Klux Klan garb. That's right, everybody. I don't know if he was in Grand Wizard garb. It didn't look like it. It looked like he was just a regular peon. It wasn't like he was a top dog. Now, he was in full garb, but I don't know if it's even the worst. Somebody else decided to put up an image of Chris Benoit, a famed WWE wrestler who had murdered his whole family and himself. And then to top it off, speaking of murder, another person put on a live snuff film of someone getting their throat slit. Now, the WWE immediately put out a little press release claiming that this is not in any way a representation of the WWE. But I would like to say from my mouth, and probably the mouths of all of us here, now that's just some horse shit.
Right. Now, I'd like to start this out. So I didn't have much expectations in terms of what types of people watch the WWE. Now, I know that it's a range of people all across the United States, but let's be honest. I mean, there's certain people that like to watch WWE. Okay. With that being said,
yeah,
100%. Where do we start though? Like in terms of breaking this down, do we start with the negligence of the WWE? Do we start with the atrocities that have been shown, or do we start with the very clear racism that is embedded there? Where do we go first?
Well, let's start with negligence because I did call the WWE out horseshit at the end of my statement, and I feel like we should start with the negligence. Now, there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that you should allow WWE audience members to police themselves. All right. Now, there have been many chants that I have heard on air, on live air, they had to censor the audience because the whole audience was chanting, "Fuck you." That is not church-going folk. All right, you know what I'm saying? That's some rowdy individuals. When you can get a whole group of about 70 to 80,000 motherfuckers to chant "fuck you" to another human being,
and half of them are under the age of like 14.
Exactly. All right. So again, we're not looking like these are going to be the most policed audience members in the first place. Not to mention, look at what they give you as content. You give us oily men who are mad at each other for nonsense, usually because somebody slept with somebody else or somebody did something to somebody's car. I don't know. This might only be the Attitude Era. That was the only era I know. But these are the things that they're watching. You know what I'm saying? So there's absolutely no way that you're going to think a bunch of horned up men from the ages of like 13 to 39 are going to police themselves properly if they watch the WWE.
Well, my thing though is this: we grew up at the time of the Attitude Era when people were like didn't really pay attention to what the WWE was doing. I looked it up. I remember a time when Stephanie McMahon, the boss's daughter, was married unconsciously by Triple H, which was they implied that he'd given her some kind of date rape drug and did some other things with her.
They're still happily married today. Still happy.
Right? So I mean, there was so much crazy stuff, like with Stone Cold Steve Austin breaking into somebody's house.
Again, we had people hit people with sledgehammers.
Yeah, people grew up on the craziest crap of WWE era. Steve Austin came out with a beer truck and mowed people down. I mean, we had people being buried alive. We had Mankind being thrown from a Hell in a Cell onto the floor. We grew up in the golden age of wrestling when it was theater. They didn't care.
I mean, people were bleeding every other match. Every match.
They cut that out. The chair shots were ridiculous. They can't hit them in the head no more. I mean,
not to mention every single guy was hopped up on cocaine, alcohol, and steroids.
Well, now wait a second. That was our childhood, our very young childhood. When we were wee kids, they were on cocaine. Later, went to like elk blood or whatever the hell The Rock was on.
I mean, all the stuff The Rock did back in the day, the Degeneration X, the sexual stuff they did, they got away with murder back then, man. And we were like 13, 14.
I mean, they had lingerie matches.
Oh, dude. Oh, when Jerry Lawler used to refer to the women as puppies. Let me see puppies over and over again.
And dude.
You like the puppies? Puppies. Oh, my God, I got the puppies. Oh, the lingerie match where you strip the other woman down? I mean, come on, man. This is like
what?
Oh yeah, you didn't know about these moves.
This would not be PC.
Yeah, during the Attitude Era, the poor women of wrestling, the only way they were being seen is if they were stripped nearly naked, which was inappropriate because there were some women wrestlers who were like legit women wrestlers. Like this was a time like China had to stop wrestling women because people were like, we don't want to see you in your lingerie. You know, so like she started wrestling dudes because. You know, they were like, well, we got to use her for something. I mean, this woman is ginormous. So, but
this
all the
every week too, man. Remember, every week some crazy stunt was going on, dude. Like we saw people being thrown off bridges, people putting dumpsters and throwing off the arena. I mean,
oh yeah, dude. People were being like thrown in the trunk of cars, and then the car was like thrown into the bay. Like, I mean, like this is nonsense. That was. Like people were being drowned in the back of cars. Like this is crazy, dude.
Yeah, see, I was too young or / not born yet.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been watching that at a young age anyway.
Oh, wrestling was not allowed in my household at all. Like I wanted to watch it as a kid because I was like, yeah, suplex, something. And my mom was like, when I tell you thoroughly against this. Now, my mom tried to make me. Are you guys aware of the show Dragon Tales?
I've heard of it. I didn't see it.
This is a cute little show about a stone. You touch the stone, this brother and sister would go into Dragonland. These cute little dragons. She almost didn't let me watch the show. And I love my mom. God bless that woman. She's an angel, but she's crazy.
Well,
she
maybe
almost
the
didn't let me
Dragon
watch it
Tales
because
is crazy, but maybe
yeah,
not
the Dragon
wrestling.
Tales is crazy. The wrestling was legit, and like my brother had GTA 3 back then, and I couldn't play that. Like my mom was just against. I don't even think I saw like a PG-13 movie until I was like 12 years old. And for any kid that's 11 and 10, yeah, yeah, in the movie theaters, Jonathan, when you're alone. Like at home, I couldn't even fucking watch like Zorro. Not really, but no, my mom's funny, but yeah, wrestling was not allowed at all.
She saw the Attitude Era too, because they got a lot of heat towards the end of the Attitude Era about the shenanigans that were going on, and that's why they went to the PG era now, to where they really don't do much of anything, and it's pretty bad now.
Well, I mean, after the last match, was it last night, Jonathan?
Yes, it was last night's Raw. Yeah.
Okay, that's wild because it is a family event now. I've been to one match. It was the match where Roman Reigns like announced he had leukemia. Very sad, but it was fun. It's a good time to go to a match. It's cool. I never thought I'd like it, to be honest. My best friend's all into it. But for that shit to happen, let's get back on track. For that stuff to happen last night, I mean, the WWE now they're owned by Vince McMahon. They are owned by Alpha Entertainment. Alpha Entertainment owns things worldwide. They're a massive, massive, massive company. They have thousands and thousands of IT members in their company. How was there not a vetting process for the fans that could be on? I think it was just negligence, and I think it was an oversight.
It's absurd negligence.
Oh, absurd almost, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost as if somebody was like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. Like, who goes into something like that? Let's just see what happens.
Right. Have you ever seen the NFL or the NHL fans? They are like locked on a screen. They cannot really move. They have to have team garb on, and they're just waving. They're just waving and dancing, doing, weird white people stuff, to be honest with you. But it's not like it's not crazy. There's nobody drinking ever. And I feel like the WWE just didn't take steps to make sure that type of stuff happened. And I don't know how many fans they had up on the screen, but for the NHL especially, I've seen, upwards of, I think, like 60 fans on screens at one time. That's a lot of people to vet through. And I just don't quite understand how. I don't know where the kink in the chain was for the WWE to let that happen. They had 3 gates in one night. They had Clan Gate, Crispin Gate, and Murder Gate, all in one single night. That's a trifecta. That's a dynasty of terrible, terrible things to have shown a family show. What's considered a family show nowadays.
Yeah, and Crispin Wall was front row. Like, I saw the photo of it. That was front row. Like,
so I haven't seen that one yet, but I saw the KKK member, and he was dead right in between the ropes, which is like eye level for viewers on TV.
He was smoking a big fat joint too, which the WWE has been known against anti-weed forever.
Right. Yeah, they said there was not going to be any smoking of any kind, and yet he's smoking too. So it's insane. What's going on here, man? Like, they're just like. You're not even enforcing the rules that you apparently put out there. You just hope that these people would police themselves, and you have to be the biggest idiot in the world to think that the WWE fans will police themselves.
Oh no, dude! These people from the ECW days, when people would get crazy, beer being thrown at people. I mean,
just not even that, dude. I mean, you're literally looking at people who are barely separate from NASCAR fans. I mean, like, the separation is very simple.
Man, a lot of these people were kids when we grew up in the Attitude Era, so they're gonna they're still gonna act that way and try to get away with crazy ass shit. I mean, the internet does it all the time. Let's do the most offensive thing possible so we could get clickbait and just try to.
And there's no accountability when you do it virtually. There's no accountability.
It's like the other day I was playing Rocket League, dude. I got called the N-word for congratulating somebody else with a nice shot. Over 3 times, dude. So what I do, I reported his ass because you don't do that crap, dude.
That's what I like to hear. Going out there snitching, dude.
Dude, I'm sorry, man, but you know what? I wasn't the only one that did it, though, man, because I saw other people report him too. So
there you go. There you go.
Man, like, these people just do stuff to shock people because, like, oh, look at me, I got nothing else better to do other than bother people and I try to push people's buttons and because it's satire. It's like, no, it's not. You're just being a dick and an a-hole. That's all, man. Like, we just no need for this, man. And yes, there should have been somebody there with a kill switch button, which I don't understand. When you have that much money, you don't have a kill switch button.
Like, that's my point. Do you know how many people are involved in the production? And Duke, you're exactly right. There's got to be hundreds of people involved with the production of these virtual shows.
Oh, definitely. And not to mention, you got a director there, you got other cameramen that are working it. Like, how does somebody looking through a camera, looking at maybe a match, didn't see through the camera, I don't know, just gazing about and notice that, hey, that might be Chris Benoit. Isn't that the guy who was like, because like you probably have seen more than one wrestling match in your life, I would assume, if you are a cameraman or a director for wrestling.
And
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you haven't.
They've wiped away the memory of Chris Benoit. You can't go on the WWE Network and find any of his matches. Yeah. They've totally just acted like he has never existed. So for you guys,
last night when they didn't kill the switch.
I mean, kill the switch, dude. It's like, come on, man. Come on, WWE. You guys are falling behind, and this shows that you're falling even more behind.
Oh, all right. Well, who knows what they're going to be doing about this? They claim that they're going to be banning those people for life, but they probably won't do anything. But here's the thing. There's more race relations that are being involved in sports right now, switching over to the NBA, also taking place in Florida. The NBA, there's players talking about not playing the next round of the playoffs. The Raptors and even some of the Celtics players are talking about not playing due to the fact that there was yet another senseless shooting of a black man was in front of his children as he was walking away. So that's shows what kind of threat he actually was to the police at that time. Now, I'm not exactly sure if they're going to actually boycott a game. I mean, the NBA has done as much as they can, I think. I mean, again, it's a league mostly made of African Americans, so it makes sense that they would be, really behind the BLM movement. I mean, they've been kneeling, they've been putting up messages on the backs of their jerseys, but now they feel like they need to make the next step and just not play games. I don't know if that's going to be enough, and I don't even know if it's really going to get the message fully across. But, gentlemen, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's just sad, man. Listen, all the reports that have come out, the guy that, they shot, Jacob Black, he's had a trouble pass, but, like, nothing in that video told me that he should be shot in the back 7 times. Has the guy done wrong? Yes. He's a domestic abuser and a known sexual offender. Still does not mean that he should be shot in the back 7 times in front of his children. So I want to make that clear. Whatever I say, he still did not deserve to be shot. It's sad that officer should be tried for attempted murder. And impairment or whatever the legality of that is, but now he's paralyzed. The thing I don't want to go away is that this guy will survive this, so we'll forget about it. And obviously, regarding his background and what he's done, yeah, he didn't seem like a great guy, but you know what? Like, his kids didn't know what he did, man. His kids don't know about his record. All they see is a dad, and for that to happen, it makes me get choked up now, man. Like, I have black family members. I have a black cousin with 3 kids, and though he's never been in trouble, he's a stand-up guy. Like, it doesn't fucking matter, man, because he's black. He's a black dude in America, and I know the media has an agenda. I'm fully aware of the situation at hand. That is, this is a political season for us. And so everything is kind of just thrown in our faces immediately. And, you do need to do your research and stuff. But, like, from the video I saw, man, nothing told me that should have happened. It's really sad. And I feel horrible for black people right now. I do.
Right. Because, here's the thing, man. As you were saying, he had committed crimes before. But, they're acting like not other people have committed crimes before and have been able to walk away from the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen many times on the show Cops. People have full-on run from the police with drugs on them, tossing drugs and other things about, Who knows what they could have been throwing? They could have thrown a bag of anthrax for all they know. But you know what? The police sure didn't shoot them.
Yeah, dude, we've seen mass murderers like Dylan Roof not get shot on arrival. So, like, I mean, dude, I just don't understand the part of my. Now, I've never been through police training. Seemed like that guy hadn't either, and it seemed like there were only two. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because there's nothing in police that teaches you to do that. I wish he had put his gun away, and he would have, you know, if anything, just put the guy on the ground, like whatever he was doing. Excuse me, I coughed. Whatever he was doing, I heard he was stopping a fight. I heard he was in the middle of a domestic dispute. Whatever the fucking case may be, man. Like, it definitely didn't have to go that far. And they did use a taser on him. And supposedly the cop said that he said he had a gun in the car. Do I believe that? I don't know, because that cop can easily just say that. He can easily just say he told me he had a gun.
That.
Now there were also reports that he had a knife. Regardless, dude, I've seen videos of white dudes with knives that don't get put down. Like, yeah. I just don't. And for all those fucking idiots, by the way, this is to all you fucking idiots that are like, oh, shoot him in the leg. There's not one tactical training educational program in the entire world that trains you to shoot for moving legs. That's fucking dumb. You're stupid. There's two massive arteries in the legs. The guy probably would have died if he got shot in the leg. So I just wanted to say that piece. But yeah, it's really fucking sad, man. Like, it's just really fucking sad. Like, it's bad.
I want to say this because I've been on the other side. You know, I have a record. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did 6 months in the pen, the county jail, which the pen would have been actually a lot better than the county jail, as I found out, because the state actually takes better care of you. You have more freedoms. But I also too understand.
Somebody's mad about not getting as many cable channels.
Oh, dude, we didn't even have no TV. We didn't even get a newspaper. What the hell?
Oh, shit.
Like, yeah, man, we didn't even know what day it was, man. We had to figure this shit out.
Oh, shit. You should have gone to federal. You should have had more weight.
Man, dude, I know, man. Shit, I would have been a lot better, dude. But, no, I understand, dude. And like I said, I mean, I understand how difficult it can be for a cop's job, but there's just bad people everywhere. And that's just where accountability has to come in, because they've been doing this shit for my whole entire life. Okay. I've seen this crap going on for too damn long. And now people are freaking out like, oh, well, it's been going on, dude. It's been going on since I've been alive. It's just that people need to be more accountable for cops. The system has to change. And until that change, we won't see this. And yeah, you need to understand that we got to respect a cop, dude. I've seen Jonathan deal with cops. Man, the man is a master at it. Yes, sir. No, sir. He can get his way out of anything. But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, you got to understand. I remember when I was riding the bus with Jonathan, and I said, I don't want to have that job. Jonathan was like, hell no, because your back is turned to crazy people. And I mean, that's just driving a bus, man. So I can't imagine the kind of stress that a cop has to go through. And I am all for reform and change, but until we hold these people accountable for their actions, it's never going to change. DAs are crooked, judges are crooked, the whole system is crooked, people. And it's been going on for years. And I mean, if you don't think that slavery doesn't exist, then you don't know about private prisons, man, and how they're using them for manufactured labor. And they don't care, because people act like just because you've done something wrong in the past, they're going to hold that crap forever against you, no matter what, dude. And I mean, the same thing. I still can't go and get a job at places because of my felony, even though marijuana is legal now, but still people are prejudiced against it. That's all. And change is going to happen, but it has to happen when these people are held accountable. And I mean, they've been killing people for years, y'all. It don't matter who they are. Like, they'll lock up.
Oh, not even years. I mean, since they've been bringing black people over here.
Everybody, though, dude. They've been killing everybody. Everybody.
Oh, yeah, they were killing the natives before. So
kill anybody who gets in the way, dude. I mean, that's just what the thing is. And it's just so sad, dude, because people, you act like you care because you wear a Black Lives Matter shirt. You care, but yet you don't say a kind word to somebody, or hold the doors, or hey, say, how are you doing today? Because you're afraid of the other people. We got to quit being afraid of people, man. And that's where the problem is. When people are they're trying to pit us against each other. And that is what's wrong. Just trying to say that, oh, I got to be afraid of him or I got to be afraid of him. It's like, no, quit being afraid, man, and love each other more, man.
Seriously. Like, dude, I saw this stupid ad for the election coming up. It had a donkey and an elephant both in the boat paddling in the wrong, each in a different direction. It'd be like, maybe we should work together. And then they didn't, kept paddling in a different direction. So I was like, well, that's what's messed up with our damn country, is that we're putting a dividing line between us so hard that it's almost hard to function as a country anymore, man. Like, I remember back when I was real little,
and
you'd watch presidential
dude, listen,
debates,
we can get into this.
Like, this shit is boring because both sides are saying the same shit. Now, dude, I mean, they're drawing hard lines between each other, man. And it's the same hard lines. They're not any different, you know.
Listen,
like,
man, all the Democrats in Congress,
you know, you guys are going to start attacking
us
us because we have neo-Nazis in our party. The fact that you are even boasting about that means that you guys have a problem, you know.
Each party's got a problem, dude. I'm just saying, everybody that's saying, like, oh, do you guys don't think it's rigged when you only got two choices? I mean, nobody's ever seen a problem with this before. Like, we can't have a third or a fourth choice. They're all dirty, dude. They're all dirty. I don't care if you put an R or a D.
No. It's not good either way.
They're all friends, man. They're all
of course they're all friends.
Yeah, they're all hugging each other at the end of the day.
They know what they're doing. But the problem really lies in the fact
that, look at every different state, dude. Look at every different type of governor candidate. I mean, we have a party in Rhode Island called the Cool Moose Party. Guess who's joining that shit? Your fucking boy.
Like, there's a lot of gray
they definitely wouldn't.
And they don't even want to deal with it.
I don't have long enough hair, and I definitely don't smoke as much.
First started electing presidents, dude, there was like 8 to 10 parties and shit.
Right.
Like there's all kinds of people, man. There was like the Whig
but,
party.
I mean, regardless of whatever fucking side you're on politically, that dude didn't deserve to get shot, and that's just the end of it.
They probably won't let you in. You ain't got the money. Yeah, and you ain't got the money. You got to come in with some clout.
It's all about the Benjamins, man. That's
paper.
All that.
As much as I hate to say it, I just don't know if we're ever going to become sentient enough to do that. Like my brother says it all the time. We're not sentient.
They'll get on the internet, quote this crap, but they won't actually talk to anybody else, you know? And it's like everybody wants to preach this hate, saying you're different. You just don't understand. You're wrong. You're right. It's like, why don't we just talk it out? Instead, like, we got differences and respect each other, man.
We will when the robots take over. We're gonna have to be one when the robots take over.
Speaking of robots, Earl Thomas.
That's the only way we're gonna come together as a people.
Skynet's coming, baby.
Skynet, baby. We need it faster so we can come together as people. All right, folks. Speaking of robots taking over, I don't know if this is a great transition, but somebody got fired in the NFL. This is not even a good transition at all. I mean,
yeah, this weekend, yeah.
I was about to be like, he's a robot, but I'm like, he's not really. And what he did had nothing to do with robotics, really,
he
of any kind.
flipped out on the field and got into a fight.
Earl Thomas
who the fight was with,
from,
I do not have that note down here.
He got released. What?
Yeah, it was another guy on the defense who busted his coverage. And Earl Thomas, in classic Earl Thomas fashion,
on why he had his departure from this
the Ravens released him for conduct detrimental to the team. This is a long time coming. Earl Thomas will never be happy. I'm convinced, unless he's playing on the Cowboys, and even then, he's just another Antonio Brown, man. He's just those wires just cross, man. And like, listen, you want that type of dude on your team, but at the same time, it's very, very hard to manage a man like that. He's all go, go, go. And I don't quite think that he thinks before he acts. And it's whatever, man. I mean, he's one of the best safeties I've ever seen play football when he's on his game. But last year,
he's a very disgruntled
this dude
little man
was talking about how the Patriots were afraid to tackle Derrick Henry. Also, they were. He was right about that. But then, I mean, Derrick Henry used him as a blocker in the next game. He literally pushed him forward. Like, his back was turned to Derrick Henry, and he pushed him. So, like, I think this was a long time coming for Earl Thomas. I don't quite know if the man's ever going to be happy in this game unless he's playing for his hometown team in Dallas. But, yeah, I mean, it's just another Earl Thomas thing, man. Earl Thomas doing Earl Thomas type shit. You mean when he
Right.
flipped off the entire sideline? I loved it.
Right. Yeah, because he had an ugly departure from Seattle, very ugly.
Ugly.
Yes. It was very ugly. Now he has an ugly departure here, and I mean, my question is he going to get a blacklisting here soon? Because I tell you, man, they don't take too kindly to people of my color acting a fool too many times.
He's been acting a fool forever, man. Like, wasn't his?
I know, that's what I'm saying. There's usually a limit. You know what I'm saying? They put a limit on Pac-Man. When
Pac-Man shot somebody and paralyzed him.
Oh, where did that go?
He didn't. He did not. He did not. He ordered someone to. So that's why he was able to still play.
That makes sense. Somebody to do your dirty work for you.
Right. That's why he was still allowed to be on the football field.
No, you're right. I think it was the Dirty Six and just being an asshole
had that
teammate.
incident with his brother earlier this offseason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really the reason. I was going to go into that here in a second, but I'm so glad that you just brought it up. I was going to ask the Moose. I was like, Moose, do you really think that was the reason, or the fact that he's having dirty sex with his brother? Like, I don't I think the blow up was just a reason to be like, all right, well, we don't want to deal with you and your nasty ass anyway. Like, because, like, I mean, again, he had a case of infidelity in which he was tag teaming a woman with his brother. You know what I'm saying? So, like, first off, you commit adultery and you having weird family sex. Like, so, like, there's a lot of things on that plate that I'm sure the Ravens organization wasn't okay with, but they were like, there's nothing really in the bylaws that say you can't fornicate with another woman, because I mean they all doing that, and there's definitely nothing in the bylaws that says you can't.
So that's a whole different discussion, bro. We're having.
So, so they didn't know what to do. But then when he popped off, man, that's something they could do.
I mean, this was just many actions coming. There's a wild loose in there. He's still living off his glory days from Seattle. I mean, he's a sure bound Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. Okay. I don't know, man.
We'll see about that.
I mean, he's not even top 10 in the last 10 years.
Come on,
I would even put like Brian Dawkins above him, even like Quentin McHale, dude. Like, there's plenty of players that you could throw in. But that's a discussion for a different time.
Like, they almost didn't let T.O.
But
T.O. wasn't really that much.
He's an idiot, and he's gonna get picked up. There's no doubt. That dude can still ball.
That was all that.
But even still, dude, like, he wasn't even really that much of a character, and they was trying to like.
Well, he hasn't played in the last 10.
But my thing is, Moose, my people, he only gets so many chances.
Oh, you don't think Jerry Jones is
running? He's running low. I mean, again,
I do. I definitely see. But here's
weird.
Let me ask you this though.
He's let me ask on people. He's flipping people off.
Okay, that's fair. But let me ask you this though.
Talking trash.
Let me ask you this.
I'm only
maybe not. But let me ask you
shorter
this.
on chances here.
Now I feel like
some trash team like the Browns.
The guys that do the same shit that are black
pick them up
on offense are usually the prima donnas. They're this, they're that. In terms of a defensive player, man, those guys that have that edge, like he does.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't think he's not going to play again. Like, he's definitely going to play again. There's no doubt about it. I'm talking like Antonio Brown. Honest to God, like I'm comparing him to Antonio right now.
I mean, I haven't heard. I know there's some prima donnas. You're right, dude. There's some prima donnas. You got OBJ. He's throwing stuff around. But he didn't like flip off a whole sideline and shit and talk trash to everybody. You know, like, I mean, but even Antonio has never been like ridiculous on the field, dude, like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's usually business when he's there. You know, like the Antonio Brown issues are usually like an issue that he's having.
Oh, well, he like freaked out like a child in the middle of the field, threw his helmet on the ground, and like
when he should be. Like you know, like his stuff was usually stupid, cheeky, not like harmful, inappropriate. You know, so like again, we're not exactly sure to the level in which he went off on this guy, but I mean, let's be honest. People probably go off on people all the time on the field. He probably went to a level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could have. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure this has happened before. Like, he's not the. I mean, dude, there was a steroid era, so I know people were doing that. So, like, there had to be like something he must have said, how he said it, something he did. There's.
By the way, yeah, it's a dope ass logo too.
There's got to be a little bit more that he just flipped out like a child, unless they just were doing it because he was fucking around and his brother was in the ring.
I think too that, you know, with the Ravens organization, they're a very tight-knit organization. So either like you're in the locker room with them.
Yeah, that RPO run
Lamar
shit.
Jackson, God bless his soul, got the Ravens logo tattooed on his chest. And like, I mean, like he showed.
Like, that's his family.
Hey, dude, all I'm saying, I love it. I love the commitment, Lamar, but I just know how the league exists. And
right.
Playing for another team in the future. So
all he needs is one bad knee hit,
and
then he's playing for the Dolphins with a ridiculous tattoo.
But
it's a ridiculous tattoo.
Yeah, it's a tight-knit organization, and they're probably just tired of his shenanigans, man. He's probably causing trouble in the locker room, getting in it with other people and other players, and they're just tired of it, dude. It's like they don't need that distraction. Yeah. If they're top bound for Super Bowl, they don't need that distraction, man. They need a team.
And they don't really like him. They don't like distractions in Baltimore. You're right about that, man, because like Jamal Lewis, one of the best running backs, had a trunk full of cocaine and weed.
Right. Well, he found Jesus, and so did that guy he killed. So
crazy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot. It was much more than you would expect someone to have personal use. So when he got pinched, they were done with him. Like Ray Lewis killed a man, but he found Jesus, and they let him stay.
Yeah, also too, he won them like 2 Super Bowls too. So I mean, that was.
Well, yeah, but he found Jesus. Like once after he killed a man, he was all about the Lord, and they're like, all right.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, let's hope too. Yeah, we don't know, because if you were getting into an altercation with Ray Lewis at a club late at night, you might not have been the most righteous.
And
anyway,
that was a tight Super Bowl too down in Atlanta at some shady club, man. 2000. Right. It was crazy. He had a white suit on, and apparently the white suit disappeared because of the blood stains.
Well, yeah. Well, of course it did. You know, and he said, I think he was reduced to that. He kicked.
Thought it was a good time for a break.
Like that. I was like, yeah, I'm sure it was only once. But anyway, folks. Yeah, no, I think it was more of a stomping. But anyway, folks, that's a good place to stop, I think, talking about Ray Lewis's atrocities. We will be coming back with more of the Ricky Williams trilogy. Again, you're listening to Be Easy, the Duke, and the Moose. Stay tuned. That's fine. We probably don't have a whole lot more left on the plate, but welcome back to the Ricky Williams trilogy, everybody. You are back with John B. Eazy, Durnell, Duke Thompson, and Seamus the Moose Anderson. We've been talking about sports during the 2020 year, an odd year due to the fact that there is COVID-19, a lot of quarantine stuff happening. As a matter of fact, there's been some, quarantine hockey. They're in 2 different ends of the country of Canada, and they're little bubbles, and they're playing their hearts out. No teams left that I care about, because all the teams were eliminated early on. But there's still some other teams playing, so I guess we'll go to the Moose for that report.
Yes, thank you, John.
My teams have been eliminated. I mean, I think wait, are the Knights still in it? I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Knights is still
So I
in it.
still have a half team because I love gambling.
That's fair. And by the way, I did just start using FanDuel 2 days ago, and I am fucked. I'm fucked. Anyways, yes, the NHL has entered the second round as of the last time we spoke. In the West, we have the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Vancouver Canucks. The Dallas Stars are taking on the Colorado Avalanche. In the East, we have the New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Boston Bruins against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's been exciting, man. I mean, I love watching playoff hockey, and they have just thrown it all in our face this year. It started with, 6 games a day, starting at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern to 3 o'clock. I mean, it's been fun, man. I love watching playoff hockey. This is just, even without the fans, man, I do miss the fans. I miss that energy, but I'll tell you what, it's been fun. It's been fun.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. There's also MLB that's been happening. A little bit of baseball. Now, no new outbreaks of COVID-19. They've had enough at this point in time. If there's yet another one at this point, goodness, you might need to call it quits. They're about halfway through the season. Not every team is, because some teams are going to have to do a lot of double headers at the end due to the fact that they've tested positive many times. But I do need to talk about something that happened in California, something amazing, especially because it's from a team you would never expect this from. We were also talking recently about the San Diego Padres hitting a grand slam that was not supposed to happen, apparently, due to the fact that the Texas Rangers manager didn't want it to happen. Well, not only did it happen once, folks, it happened another 5 times in 6 days. The San Diego Padres had 5 grand slams in 6 games. That is easily a record. Who the hell hits that many grand slams as a team in a season, first off? 6 is pretty high. They only have 60 games to do it in. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, man. That's poor pitching right there, man. Half a season. I mean, like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. You're walking 3 people get on base, and then you let the guy give up a dinger like that.
Well,
dude, that's bad, dude. That's bad.
I mean, it's just amazing, too, because, how does it keep happening again and again and again? Like, again, 5 times in 6 games, like, just ridiculous, man.
Okay, can we talk about this, though? Did we get to talk about Tatis Jr. having to apologize for hitting a fucking home run?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
Oh, we did? Okay.
That's why I brought up the fact that, because we were like,
they just hit more.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we did discuss
just making sure.
Yeah, we discussed the fact that, he had to apologize and everything and blah, blah, blah. But, like, it started this beautiful chain reaction here. It's almost as if the team came together behind him and they were like, oh, you don't like when we hit grand slams? Well, we're going to hit as many as we can. So,
I know they really did, though. They've been smacking the ball, dude.
Right. So good on the Padres. I mean, they still probably won't win a World Series this year, but you know what? They're going to probably make the playoffs for the first time since probably Tony Gwynn was on the team.
Damn, dude.
To be honest. Jesus.
That is wild.
Yeah, dude. I mean, actually, no, I think they might have made it. I think they might have made it in 2006. God, but that was still a long time ago. All right. Anyway.
Long ass time ago, but good on the Padres.
Yeah.
Keep smacking those balls, dude.
Seriously.
Smack those balls all around the park. We love it. You know what? The game is what it is now. It's home runs or strikeouts. So if you're going to hit them, might as well hit them with everyone on base, baby. Keep them juiced and keep them loose.
That sounds like a rough BM. Well, anyway, folks.
Come on, man. That's like one of the greatest fucking quotes I've had on this shit.
Whoa, hey, and then you see it, and again, you ended it with shit, keeping it on that BM stuff. Anyway, folks, though, but for real, seriously, there were a lot of COVID failures in Major League Baseball. You know what? No, I said in Major League Baseball.
Oh.
Hold on.
Look at
my transition. You're all about transitions, Duke, and I'm trying to make a transition.
A little high. Sorry.
Little Jesus.
Anyway, Major League Baseball had their issues with COVID going rampant. And folks, it's about time for the NFL to have their issues as well. The NFL, again, right around the corner from opening day. Well, I guess not opening day, but, starting the season. And, folks, they had some positive tests. But did they? Well, found out later those positive tests were now negative tests. Now, what is the NFL really doing? Are they even using proper testing equipment, or are they just trying to make it look like their tests are going to be iffy either way, so they can continue with the season no matter what? Like, what is the NFL doing here? What is this? It feels shady.
Oh, it's shady, dude. This is too shady because what? Like, now, what are they going to be testing this? People are biased towards teams. If they see another team have the test, shenanigans can go on, people. And it's like 11 false, what is it, Moose? 11 false positives.
Yeah, so I have the from the source here. I have a total of 77 tests in question from 11 teams, and the one New Jersey lab all came back negative. Positive. All the tests from the lab were retested, and so far have all been called negative. There are a total of 5 labs nationwide that service the 32 teams. Now, the lab did release a statement. In the statement, they said that this was due to a contaminated, fucking whatever.
So, like, one of the people who were testing,
whatever the fuck.
So one of the people who were testing it had COVID and then got it on all the beakers. Like, what's going on here, man? Like, what happened? How did they all go from being positive to negative unless somebody's handing some money around, which I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL was doing, just to make sure they have their season, because there's already issues all over the NCAA. I mean, we're talking about.
Well, the schools themselves, dude. I know Alabama went back to school. They had 700 kids.
Oh, yeah.
Test positive.
Notre Dame had to send their kids back, and then they found a few people on the team, the football team, that had to be sent home too, and then they had to quarantine others. I was like, so this already falling apart, and y'all ain't even gotten close.
Right, and we can certainly talk about that later because now they're keeping the players from class, which coincidentally they were sort of doing before this entire thing happened.
Who was believing they were going to fucking class really in the first? Like I remember when I was at school, the football players. Yeah, they attended class, but did they really? I mean, they were usually passed out.
That's it,
They were there. No, trust me, they were there for like a good chunk until like it got to the point where like they couldn't get like punished yet because like you can only get punished for your grades at the end of the semester, and they haven't come out yet, and by then it's full time. So like,
right, and we're not talking about the 2 schools that actually send their kids to class, or maybe the 4 schools, which is Air Force, Army, Navy, and Stanford. Teams that are worth a damn. Anyways, I mean, Navy
Northwestern
and
and Vanderbilt, those kids go to schools too.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm sure there's more. But you get the gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in regards to the actual test results that have been, correct, there have been. These are the test results between August 12th and August 20th. There were 58,397 tests administered to 8,573 players and personnel, 23,260 tests administered to players, 35,000 something administered to personnel, 0 positive tests among players, and 6 new confirmed positives among other personnel. So are we going to get some positives throughout the season? Maybe, but man, to me, this is a good sign.
To me, it sounds like bullshit. To me, it sounds like bullshit. You tested all those people.
Only 5
and not one player? Man, bull. Here's what I'm telling you. Like, Duke knows it. You're still a little young, Moose. The NFL is hella corrupt, homie, and there's no way in hell that's right.
Yo, I'm just reading off of what they're putting out, man.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't come after. But I do think we're gonna see football, but it's not.
No, I'm not saying that we're not gonna see football because like now it sounds like they are literally paying the labs, so we're gonna see football. This is about to be the most corrupt. We're going to see men coughing and wheezing literally on the field. They're going to be like, they don't have COVID. Like, this is going to be some mess, dude, because I just don't believe that you test every player in the NFL that have been from all over the U.S. of A. and not one of them came back positive. I mean, everybody, the NBA had a few positives. The MLB had a few positives. There's a few positives out there on all the sports, but the NFL.
Oh,
the
right.
NHL hasn't, but they haven't. I don't think.
But there's 5 labs, dude, right? 58,000 tests. So they're handling, and let's be honest, how many people are really testing this? That's workload overload right there, man.
Right.
I mean, my goodness, dude. Like, I mean, of course, because we've all had real jobs, you know, there's a demand.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do 50,000 tests.
Yeah, dude. So like, okay, if you split that up, that's like 10,000 tests per lab. And so how many people are really testing those? I mean, how many can you get through in a day? I mean, with accuracy that you.
I mean, you're just. I definitely get where you're coming from, but you're also going off the basis of you not being a medical professional. Now, I'm not a medical professional either.
To understand that people screw up at their jobs, dude.
Right.
That's fair, but they're not testing them. They're not testing them under a fucking microscope. They're going through a machine.
Like went to PhDs, man. These people probably barely got college educations, 4-year degrees, man.
Oh, that's a fucking. That's a dig.
Damn.
I'm just saying, man. Like
these motherfuckers got associate's degrees.
Some of these, but yeah, I'm not fucking acting like I'm going to be doing a test, dude. I'm just saying, like, people, like, let's be honest, these are low-paid workers, probably making what, $15, $20 an hour, maybe if that. I mean, like, these jobs are not desirable, and I mean, I'm just saying, human error is going to happen. You know, they're probably getting crapped on.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And you were saying that it was $20 an hour. It's easily to come at somebody who's making $20 an hour and being like, you want to make an extra $500? Everybody's positive. That's it. Everyone who's positive is negative, and let's continue on with the day.
And
that's it.
I mean, also too, people, and it doesn't matter what profession you are or what kind of education you have. Just because you have a college degree doesn't mean you know your ass in the hole in the ground. Okay, I met a lot of people who quote have these degrees and act like they're the smartest people in the world, but they can't even get through the most mediocre shit through the day.
Oh, dude, like half the people who have a Harvard degree is their mama paid for it. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, like,
well, they have to because Harvard doesn't give out scholarships.
Right, exactly. So, like, as long as you're paying the bill, as long as the money's coming through, you getting an education. So that's just kind of how that is, man.
I mean, you only have 5 labs in the whole entire country you can do this. I mean, drug tests get screwed up all the time. I mean, you think you got to have an 8-year degree to, you got to have a graduate school to be a drug tester? No, man. I seen that on Indeed. And it was like, you barely have to have a high school diploma to do that job. So human error is going to happen. And I mean, I just don't trust this. I mean, I don't trust it either. When the positives turned into negatives almost immediate, they're like, oh, they were all false positives. I was like, I'm not buying that noise, dude. Unless somebody probably got paid, which they probably did, because they want to make sure they have a season no matter what. Because NFL was bragging about that too, about the low COVID test.
Yeah, that they're going to be the clean ones, and they're like,
listen, I don't care. I honestly do not care. I just want to see football. Like, as long as these guys
and that's
sick.
half the problem. That's half the problem. You part of the problem. These poor men are going to be just forced to do it.
These guys? Wait, whoa! Time out. These guys had the right to opt out. We saw the guard from your team who has a doctorate opt out so that he could help fight this pandemic. So I don't want to hear it.
Opting out is fine. That's great. But I'm just saying, if you're going to be making false claims so that you can continue with the season, that is corruption of a different level.
Okay, that's fair, but you don't know that they're corrupt.
I kind of do. Because, come on, dude. The NFL, not one player. Fuck that noise. That's bullshit. All right, so I'm just sorry, dude. Not one.
Look, if there were burn evidence in Spygate,
right, dude. Yeah, he said fire to evidence.
Yeah,
like, I know Roger Goodell is doing whatever he damn well.
Tom Brady's breaking his brand new iPhone 3. Yeah, sure.
Come on, man. I mean, Goodell was like, he came out and said, "Yeah, I watched the tapes, and then I destroyed them immediately because." Right.
I mean, this is already some sort of corruption. And
listen, no,
and not to mention the fact that he sat your quarterback down for 4 games because he was just mad at him. The corruption in the NFL.
Well, let's talk about corruption then. How about your team allowing 22% of of this
We've
stadium to
already
be
discussed
filled with
that
fans.
problem. We've already
Nah, we going back to it
but
now.
we've
You
already
talking about
discussed
corruption?
it. We've already discussed that problem, and
They're gonna have to vacate the Super
You were
Bowl.
literally on the side of our team because you're like, how you gonna raise the flag to nobody there? So like you were basically
That's true.
You were
That's
basically
true.
on our
That's
side.
true.
So like,
yeah.
so like, what are we even discussing here? Like, my thing is this, man. Like, not only
Oh,
that, but I've
man.
seen teams are allowing people to kind of like stand around for training camp, which I'm like, all right, well, y'all aren't any.
Oh well,
better.
they're under actual like specific like the media here in New England. Like there's tons of things they have to go through in order to do that, and they have to stay quarantined at home, from what I understand.
All right.
But like, listen, here's the deal, right? We had a Seahawks rookie drafted in the 3rd round last week try to sneak in a woman who was dressed as a football player into the hotel that they're staying at. So, like,
Hey,
dude,
homie,
believe me,
need that
this
nookie.
shit's gonna happen.
Dude,
Homie, need that
yeah.
nookie.
He was an undrafted free agent, so it's like, dude, you can't be doing nothing.
So if an undrafted free agent trying to slip in some poonaner, you gonna tell me these millionaires aren't? We gonna have an issue.
Speaking of, man, I got the puppy dog of the week with this issue.
Wait, hold on, man. Before we get to puppy dogs, man, we have one more thing we got to get to, and that's the great white hype. Well, we do, man. Recently, Luka
Who?
Doncic.
Porzingis?
No, Luka. Porzingis. Get out of here. Luka hit a game-winning shot for the Dallas Mavericks. Mr. Doncic, whatever, how you say it. I think that's how you say it, Doncic. He hit a game-winning 3. He wasn't paying attention, apparently, during the timeout, twiddling a water bottle. He knew the play was get the ball to him, so I don't understand why anyone's concerned about the fact that he wasn't paying attention. Okay, now the whole thing was make sure somebody screens and holds Kawhi Leonard away from him so he can hit this shot. Because Kawhi is the best defender on the Clippers team, hands down. So if Kawhi was on Luka, we wouldn't be having this, oh my God, a white man hit a game-winning shot. It's like Larry Bird has returned. I can't tell you how many times I saw it's like the return of Larry Bird. The man hit one shot. Larry Bird was one of the baddest white men I've ever seen. So you just calm down. You know
well, he was throwing threes and hands all day long.
Right,
man.
exactly, dude. Like Larry was like the kind of man out there who was like, if a brother's not guarding me, I feel I'm being disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So like, Larry was a
double team. He was being disrespected. Same with Jordan, man. I mean, that attitude, man.
Exactly. So like, I'm sorry, man. Luka hitting one game-winning 3 is not enough for me. No, I mean, he's hit some game-winning shots in the past, but this is his only playoff one he's ever hit. And it wasn't like he hit it wet. Like, I mean, it hit some rim. So, like, people need to calm down a little bit, and let's see if he can win game 5, 6, or 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see if he can get out of the first round before we start crowning this man the king of something. He didn't even do it in the championship round. He's doing it in the first round. Just simmer down.
But we do this all the time in media, man, where we crown the new greatest person ever, man.
But in the NBA, it's always different. It's always like they search for that great white hype real hard, man. In the NBA.
They like, I don't know, man. They just crown people all the time for this crap, dude. Like I said, like, do something, man. Win a championship. Like, maybe hit those more often. I don't care, but we need to stop crowning these kids for doing nothing. Okay? Like, absolutely.
He did something good one time.
One time, dude. That's it. Like, one time. Remember when we were talking about the Ball family, how great they were going to be? Oh, they're going to come. Oh.
I don't know if we were all saying that, but media was.
The media was. And, like, I mean, hey, Lonzo's still on a team, technically.
And that's like his brother being like, oh, is he the first-round pick next year? Like, oh, my God.
Well, of course he will be because they're hyping him up to be, and then every scout thinks that they need to. But actually, from what I've heard, he can actually shoot and pass like his brother. Well, he can actually shoot the ball, unlike his brother. And he can pass the ball like his brother. So I'm thinking, like, if he can actually shoot and has good handles, he's probably going to be pretty good. Will he have the mentals to be good? That's something different to say. But at least he has the technical skills.
No, timeout. Now, LiAngelo sucked. That dude, he couldn't hit.
You mean homie stealing sunglasses in China?
Yeah, exactly. That guy that barely got out of China. But his father like literally praised Donald Trump for making that happen.
Hey,
like,
man,
God.
China, dude, you got to do anything to get your son out of there. I don't care what you got.
Yeah, I mean, he sold $300 sunglasses, so I that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But LaMelo's a real good basketball player. Like, he's gonna go.
I mean,
he's
he's
gonna go
already
top 5.
played pro. I mean, like he played pro since he was like what 14, so he's already learned how to play.
Yeah,
the
no,
game.
he's good, man. LaMelo is going to be a good basketball player. Will he be? I think he'll be more of a Kyrie Irving than a LeBron James. Obviously,
Well, he
you know what I
doesn't
mean.
have
He
the
does.
size.
Yeah, exactly. The size stature's not there, but the kid can ball. That dude can play basketball, man.
Yeah,
He's
I've
going to
seen
be
his
the best
handles.
of the Ball brothers, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I don't really know if that's really something that. I mean, it's not really a lot to say when Lonzo can barely hit a bucket from
He can
time
barely
to time.
do a free throw, man. I mean,
God, that's
No,
so
that's
true.
That's fair.
God.
That's fair.
Whew.
I mean, it's not gonna
I
be
mean, let's
hard,
be
but like
honest-
the
let's be
hype
honest,
these
he
dudes
shouldn't even
had.
be in the NBA. He shouldn't be there. If it wasn't for this crazy hype and he went to UCLA at the one time UCLA was like good again, and like Magic was on board and everybody was on board with. I mean, this kid really shouldn't be in the NBA. If I'm gonna really be honest with you,
Right.
I mean,
Right. No, I mean,
luckier
I think
things have
I think he
happened.
should be in the NBA, but I don't
Nah,
think
I
he
think
should
he
be a
should be-
starter anywhere.
No, I think he should be in the G. I don't think he should be in the NBA. I don't think he's
Wow.
good enough for that. He really should be. He should have been honing his talents down there and maybe making his way up. But he should have at this point, if you don't have him being on your starting rotation, you look like the idiot. But I don't think you really should because he's just not what you need in a point guard. I mean, especially because if there's no threat of him scoring really unless he drives, I mean, like they've been kind of shutting down Ben Simmons too. Like he's having to try to shoot the threes now, and they're like losing their mind when he makes one, and that should not be a thing for a point guard.
I mean,
Right.
how fast did LeBron get rid of him?
Oh, Ben Simmons?
No, Ball.
Oh yeah, he got rid of the ball boy like
Immediately.
Well, that was mostly because his father wouldn't stop yapping. I
Oh.
mean, if his father would have shut his mouth, Lonzo, or he would have still been on the team. But speaking of being sad pieces of shit, I believe you had a puppy dog of the week.
Yes, I do have a puppy dog of the week.
Oh, it's been a while. I'm excited for this.
Yes. It goes to the COVID thing in the NFL. I got to look at myself and my team. My team is always screwing up. The Titans are. Isaiah Wilson of the Tennessee Titans, first round pick last year, offensive tackle out of Georgia. Well, I guess he thinks that he's immune from COVID because this week Isaiah Wilson was spotted at an off-campus party at TSU the other night, breaking the Tennessee's no visitor policy, the NFL restrictions on attending gatherings with 15 or more people. When the police arrived at the scene, Wilson was reportedly seen attempting to jump from a second-story balcony to avoid being seen, but fortunately was unsuccessful. Come on, man. Like, you're an NFL player. This is you're the first-round pick. You're going to some college party, dude. And then you're trying to jump off of a balcony to get away.
Well, because if he was found to be there, then he would have to be
But you
quarantined.
try to jump off and injure yourself, dude. Dumbass, dude.
Yes, this sounds stupid in every way, and shame on him.
That is shame. As a puppy dog of the week.
And this,
I sort of admire the tenacity that he had, to be honest.
well, that is true. I mean, that is pretty ballsy. If it was
Like, also, like, you got to understand,
if
this
it was
dude
third
shows
story,
up.
I'd be like, homie's a dumbass. But at least it was just second story.
Right, but you got to understand, this dude shows up, right? He shows up to this party. He's the man. Like, that's what these guys live for, man. And they can't do that this year. They just can't.
You showed up at a TSU party, dude. You're the first round pick that people probably didn't even know who you were.
What is TSU? Texas State University?
Tennessee State.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Tennessee,
I've never
it's
even
Tennessee
heard of
State.
it.
Oh yeah, it's a
Actually,
it's a
William
historically black college. That's probably.
William Rudolph. Have you ever?
That's fair, and my apologies, Bees. I'll keep that in mind in the future. Sorry to cut you off, Duke, but I feel like that had to be said. Go ahead, Duke.
Okay, well, you should know a little bit of history. William Rudolph, Wilma Rudolph, I think, was the Olympic member from TSU. She was one of the first black women to win a gold medal, I believe, somewhere around
This is
there.
true. Yes.
So yeah, TSU is predominantly black. Great school. I wish I went there. Would have got my-
One of my high school wrestling mates went there to get a minority scholarship. He was a white man.
Yes, and I would have gone too because it's the only scholarship I could have got.
Hey, there you go. Hey, take advantage of the system.
Hey man,
All
we
right.
all got to, dude.
Well, that story there, Moose, is why I believe the NFL's zero COVID tests is bullshit. All right, you got players hanging out at college parties, jumping out balconies and stuff, and he's just an isolated incident. All right, he's the only one we heard about. Tell me there's not others doing it.
And we heard
Don't
about
believe it.
TSU police. That's it.
Right? Yeah, dude. I'm not believing that there's no other NFL players out there behaving poorly. But anyway, folks.
Hold up.
Oh,
I do have a 34
okay, gotcha.
award. I didn't at first, but now I do because I remembered a gentleman. His name is Mark Sertich. He was a 99-year-old that passed away this week. He played hockey 3 times a week from the time he was 20. I played as a kid. World War II veteran. He played hockey 3 times a week until the day he died. At 99 years old, I'm telling you right now, I feel the hurt after playing once a week, and I'm 25. This man's an absolute fucking legend. He is a god amongst men, and he will be sorely missed, as I believe he was just an absolute gentleman, and he was fun to be around, had a crazy, curled up mustache, and, to play hockey in your 80s, fuck the 80s, to play hockey from your 60s to the year you were 99. His dream was to play hockey until he was 100. I hope he's doing it up there, but rest in peace, Mark Sertich, and congratulations on just an unbelievable life.
Well, I have direct knowledge that a well-known producer of many television shows plays hockey here in LA religiously. He's up in age as well. I believe at this point he's probably in his 90s. Merv, Mr. Griffin. I believe he was playing well into late in life. And let's be honest, dude. I heard there was a no-hit rule. So I'm pretty sure they were doing the same for my man once he eclipsed a certain age. Like, you ain't trying to check.
Wait, you do know. Okay, so you're not part of the hockey community. So let me just introduce you to it quick. If you're not playing college, if you're not playing semi-pro, and if you're not playing pro, like anything past high school is non-contact. So yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna hit a 99-year-old, but like even to just get out there and skate at 95, 85, 75 years old, that's unreal, man. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I could see you clobbering an 80-year-old and just not having an issue.
Whoa! On the basketball court, that's my paint. All right, so that's yet another episode of the Ricky Williams Trilogy, and you just learned that Be Easy ain't afraid of the elderly. The paint is mine. All right. So check us out on many other forms of media. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us in our respective cities if you follow us to our vehicles. You can also find us on fumblerooskiesports.com, which is the beautiful blanket that holds all of this, which includes Money Mouth, which we'll be hopefully getting started here soon, where we can start gambling on sports. Is there anything else that I've left out, gentlemen, before we call it quits here today?
Just go Titans.
Go Patriots.
And go Super Bowl winning champs, Kansas City Chiefs, led by the beautiful biracial baby of Patrick Mahomes.
This is why we need a fucking season.
Why? Because he's beautiful?